Wow, I didn't realize how long-winded I was. Either way, if you want to skip to the end, go ahead and skip to the end, and that's where the finished product is. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. What's going on? Rob here, Trump 2323. Today, my project, actually I was just going to do it myself. I said, you know what, I got so used to recording all the time. I said, let me bring my friends with me. My friends are the ones that like it, not the ones that dislike it. Just kidding. This is my bathroom mirror for the cabinet. Like I said, our house is 100 and... Actually, I've been saying 110, 115. I really didn't know. It's 105 years old, our house. And this is the original cabinet that was hanging in there. It's been painted over time and time again white. And so since we replaced the new sink and the new cabinet and everything in there, we weren't going to replace this just yet. I didn't actually realize how heavy it was until I took it off. But what I did is, these are the old hinges for it. Let me show you them. And the old locking mechanism. I don't want to knock the damn thing down. But see how they're all painted and chipped and everything. And that's just years and years of just going painted over. And believe it or not, this mechanism has to be fixed, because if you go too far, it goes all the way, falls out. But right here, what I did is I went to the local hardware store and I found new one. Now with these right here, the hinges, I did not find any chrome. I was looking to find something in chrome, and what I found was zinc. But if you can see, they're shorter. Now they did have this length, okay, but this length was wider this way. So on the door itself, it would have been sticking out of the door. This one right here is perfect where it won't stick out the door, but they're a little bit smaller this way. These got 3 screws, these got 2 screws, and this actually is pretty dang heavy. So what I decided to do, and this right here that I got, it looks like the exact same lock, but it's a 1/4 inch smaller. Believe it or not, it's so much lighter than this one also, but it's a 1/4 inch smaller. And this is this one right here. So what I decided to do is, yeah, you guessed it, the hard way, maybe the easier way, chrome paints and black primer. I just had the primer around the house. I do have a gray primer, but it's a sandable primer, so it's really thick. Okay, so this is regular gray primer, and this is Rust-Oleum chrome paint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try with the little sanding disc, or I got my wire sander. If you ask where the bigger one's at, the bigger one was just beat the heck. This was the next one down, so this one I put on there. And I'm going to try to get this paint off as best as I can, and then sand it and paint it chrome to see if I could just actually put these right in the same spot. I did buy new screws for it. The other screws were painted over so much it took me it was so hard to get them out, and that's why the other one of these isn't out yet, because it's still in the cabinet over there. I've still got one more screw that I got to try to get out. But either way, so I'm going to try to sand and paint these, and we'll see what it comes out to looking compared to these right here. Alright? Bear with me. Let's do this together. Thanks. Bye. Alright, I'm just sitting on my back porch here, and I brought my sander out here. This is just a regular sponge sander to see if I get it. You know, I'm not trying to get it perfect. I'm trying to get it smooth. And actually the sander is going to be able to get these, but I know I'm going to need this right here. What I'm going to do is just lock it in place. And after I lock it in place, I'm just going to go ahead and believe it or not, this is my first time seeing that my drill don't got anything to lock it in place. Aha, okay, well, I'm going to try to use it to sand some of this paint off. This is the inside, this is the outside. See how fast that came off? It's almost like brand new again. Funny thing is, they had peaks on them, and those weren't peaks. These are just round. That was just so much paint that was built up on them. I'm gonna show you this, what it's coming out like. Then I'm gonna shut the camera off and finish sanding these off so you can see what they're coming out like. Well, it's better in the sun because you got the shininess of it. But yeah, oh, you can't even see right there. Let me get right here. They're coming out like brand new. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing all that, then I'll get back with you. Everybody and their mom got their dogs out today. When you're using a wire brush, make sure you put some gloves on. I never wear my gloves or my glasses or whatever. My wife always pisses me off. I mean, always gets pissed off at me. Not piss me off, gets pissed off at me. This was with a wire drop brush. It took maybe 3 minutes. I got all the paint off of there. This is the way it's probably gonna sit on the door right here. So just screwed right in. But these are heavier than the ones that I actually found. The other ones I found were the same size this way, but shorter this way. So if you see, if I could actually finish getting this smooth, I could probably gloss it and just put it on like this glossed. Because I got automotive gloss is what I'm going to cover it with, since it's going to be in the bathroom. But I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff cleaned this way, and then we'll start painting it. Right, got this one done right here. And the back's not done, just the front. This is actually pretty thin metal. I didn't think it was that thin. It just had like 10 coats of paint on it. Alright, so I gotta get 2 more pieces done. You see how shiny it is? Like I said, I could actually gloss that with automatic gloss, but I would actually have to finish it. You see the little scrapes right there. After I finished it with the drill, I did most of it with the drill. This thing was just so much faster with the wire brush. But be sure you wear your gloves on it, because if you don't wear your gloves, pretty scratched up right there and right there. So I'll probably put some gloves on to finish the rest, because I don't want to be walking around with hands like that. But after that, if you just go over it with this right here, it actually does smooth it really good. But if you're gonna paint it, you kind of want some etched edges. But like I said, with that right there, if I just put gloss over this right here, it won't fade, or it won't nothing like that. But I'm gonna try the chrome to see how the chrome is gonna work. See how beautiful that comes out? That was with a wire brush and just a sander. And if you just gloss over that, it's going to be shiny just like that. But I'm going to try the chrome paint. We'll see what happens with that. Right here is probably going to be the trickiest, because you got a bunch of different grooves to get into right there. If you have a longer wire brush, it'll get into them better. One trick is that if you feel like your wire brush ain't grabbing enough, you just reverse and go the other way. This is a 9mm nitrate glove I just put on. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. This will probably take me 5 minutes. And then after I do that, then I'll just sand it with the sanding block again. Like I said, sanding block makes both of them combined makes it look like $1 million bucks, man. These things look brand new. They just got to be painted over. So what I'm going to do is set them on a block of wood, and I'm going to do the proper painting time. Put 10-minute flash time in between, 2 coats of primer, 2 coats of paint, and then gloss it, and just I'll probably let it sit for like 5 or 6 hours before I even handle it to screw it in there. This is the bathroom mirror, so my wife uses it to get ready, so I know I gotta hurry up and get it back in there. Alright, I'm gonna do this one right now, then I'll come back to you when it's done. Okay, have you ever heard the saying, the steady drip breaks the strongest of stones? Well, that's what it comes down to on this one right here. I mean, if you do it fast, this is what happens. Try to do it really fast. This is a 9mm glove, a work glove. And I cut this one open, but at least it cut the glove and not my hand. Okay, everything else is done except for this little handle right here that turns it. But let me tell you this little handle is kind of loose and jiggly, so I'm doing it really small and kind of by hand here, because I don't want it to break off. I mean, it still works. See, that's what normally happens, but what I'm gonna do for it don't go all the way back like that, I'm probably gonna bend either the spring up more, or I'm just gonna put 2 little pieces, like even pieces of glue back here, so it'll go in but not all the way back. But either way, for right now, I gotta get the little knob cleaned off, so I'm just taking my time getting the knob cleaned off, and it's coming off really good. So with the paint, or like I said, if you just sand this all the way down to shiny, you could probably just go over this. But since the knobs on the cabinet are chrome, I'm gonna paint it chrome. Let me sit down there. Okay, I got it done. Now look at it. It's all sanded off. You know what? This is kind of loose in here, and I was trying to see what blocks it in the back. And there's a little metal piece that it sits on right there. So I was actually thinking on putting the Tech super glue there and the Tech super glue there to just to make sure I get a little bit more life out of it. But everything else is clean. All I gotta do is sand one more of these right here, and then I could go ahead and start painting them. Alright, be right back. Okay, Damn. Okay, so I'm looking at this because this feels a little bit loose, but the rivet in there actually does look pretty stable. So I was actually gonna put Loctite in there just to glue it to make sure that it doesn't move any, but I'm gonna save that for the next time if I ever have to change it. Now when I squeeze it, I don't know if you can see back here. I'll get closer. Here's the back of it. Let me get this over here. Here's the back of the mechanism. So when you squeeze it, this spring is going too far back, and this right here is going all the way in. See, like that. So what I'm going to do is, I found a piece of plastic around the house, so I'm gonna glue the piece of plastic to the back wall so that don't happen anymore, and then I'm gonna paint it. Okay, normally when I'm painting something, I normally do 2 coats of primer and 1 coat of paint, but since these are so small, what I'm going to do is 1 coat of primer and 2 coats of paint. And what I'm using right here is a degreaser. If you paint anything and you don't degrease it first, whatever got a little bit of grease on it is going to give you a really funky look, like the paint won't sit flush on it. So right now I'm basically just going to degrease them first, and after I degrease them I'm going to let it dry, and then paint 2 coats of primer and 1 coat of paint. So I'm degreasing them right now. Alright, let me show you a trick. If you don't know what side is going to be showing, really painting this isn't going to matter. It's only going to be one little side of this that's going to be showing. Alright, but if you look at the hinges, these have a little bevel in them and these don't. So the bevel is there so when you put the screw in, it's flush and nothing sticks out when it closes. So you know this is going to be screwed into the wall, this is going to be screwed into the mirror, and then this side is going to be shown when it's closed. But these right here, I'm actually going to paint both sides of them, this side and this side right here. So these right here, I'll put these to the side since these are going to be a little more coats than these right here. These right here, I'm just going to paint around these, and I'm outside right now. I should be inside so I don't get the wind, but I'm outside because I got better sunlight for you. But yeah, so this is the bevel side, so this is the screw side that goes in. So when it closes, this will be the side that's shown. Alright, so I'm going to start painting right now. I'm going to shake up the can really good, then paint. Okay, so what I'm going to do is give it 1 coat of ultra cover primer. You do it really light. I mean, you don't want to saturate it, you don't want runs, you don't want signatures. So actually I'm going to give it 1 coat of that, 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chrome, and then over the Rust-Oleum chrome I'm going to do 1 color. This is automotive gloss, because if you just do the chrome when people use it, you know, not that they're going to use it a lot, but it just starts to wipe the paint off. So I do the gloss in order to kind of keep the paint from running off. Alright, this isn't the full restoration right here, but as I'm waiting for the flash time, as I was taking this off, it painted around the outside. I mean, I chipped all the paint around the outside, and I chipped all the paint. So while I'm waiting, since I got some white paint, I'm going to cover this up so when I put the freshly painted stuff on, you don't see all this crap around the edge. If it were a full resto, I'd be taking all this off. I'd probably remove it all with a heat gun. But right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put some paint on that since I got time to wait. Okay, sometimes I don't know what goes through my brain sometimes. One good thing is, worst comes to worst, I found 1/2-inch screws. They're Phillips, 1/2-inch Phillips screws, that these will work. Okay, you don't want big long screws. Like this 1-inch screw will actually go through the whole mirror and stick out the other side of the mirror. You don't want it to stick out the other side of the mirror. But me, I bought this. So even though I'm not using this piece right here, if you ask why I'm not using the piece, because it's too small, it won't sit in the same cutouts of the other one. Shouldn't open this now, but I'm opening it because I'm gonna look at the screws. Chrome screws. Let me see the size. Oh no, they're too small. They are Phillips, but they are, well, you know what? They're thick enough. They're the same thickness, but they're not the same depth. And they're shinier. So I will try these first, because since it's a tinier hole, and then if those don't work, then I'm gonna go for these big honkers right here, because these aren't brand new. I mean, it's not that they look bad, it's just that the chrome ones look better. But I got the paint drying right now. I gave the lock a second coat already, and the hinges, but I gotta flip the hinges over to do the extra coat before I gloss. So I'll be right with you. Alright, it's not 20 minutes yet, but I wanted to show you before I put the top coat on what it came out to. I mean, these are nice. They look like brand new again. So I'm going to try using the old screws first. But what I'm going to do, there's a lot of heat coming off of this because the sun is directly on it. So this is actually all dry to the touch already. So I'm going to leave it dry for about 10 more minutes. Then I'm going to hit the perfect match top coat on this whole side. Now these two sides haven't been done yet. So I'm going to go ahead and just top coat all this at once. And then flip it and then do the other side. These sides, believe it or not, is not the side that's going to show anyways. I should have just flipped them and painted the other side, because it's the other side that's going to be showing. These two sides are actually going to be closed and just open up when the cabinet's open. So I'm going to let it dry 10 more minutes. I wanted to show you what it looked like with the chrome paint. It actually looks really nice. I mean, I would actually venture to say if you do some rims with that and gloss them, they should look like real perfect, but they sell rim paint for that. So alright, well, let me be back with you about 10 minutes. What the heck? I put the gloss on them, right? But it was towards the end of the can of gloss, and it does got a gloss coat, but it more or less seemed it went from chrome to gray. So I'm just gonna do one more coat of chrome and then just leave it at that. I'm not gonna gloss them again, because I put the gloss on and it almost seemed like it went from chrome to gray. Alright, there they are again. I chromed them again, and that's the color they're staying. And actually with the other coat of chrome, I mean, it really kind of made it more solid. It looks nicer. You know, there's a little dot and a little dot in there. I could deal with that. But these are done right here. I gotta flip the other side of those and do about 2 coats of those, 2 or 3 coats of those. Then I'm done for that. I can put them back together.